think you're untouchable.
Word life. This is basic thugonomics.
This is the Heel to the Face podcast. This is our social media segment of the week. Make sure to find us on Twitter at Heel to the Face. I am Jared Wicks. You can find me on Twitter at KRockJared. That is Icebreaker21. You can find him there on Twitter as well. Without further ado, this is our Twitter question of the week. So it was announced not just throughout the rumor mills, but on WWE.com itself that Dean Ambrose will not be renewing his contract after WrestleMania, or a little bit after WrestleMania, at the near the end of April. We wish him luck and hope to see him again soon. That's what they said, which is a real rarity. WWE doesn't do that.
Yeah, not usually.
Especially if it's in the future.
I know. Like, so what do they? I mean, if indeed he is leaving, what do you do with Dean Ambrose for the next 3 months?
Well,
2 months, 2.5 months, whatever.
That's why some of us are questioning if this is
It's a work. It's Jeff Jarrett doing his thing.
So 50% of our
50,
listeners
50-50.
and watchers.
It's a split.
It's a split. Is this a work? I think it's a work.
Yeah, I think it's a work too.
And you know, so if you watch Raw this past week, this is what I see. I see Dean versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I see this This to me smells of
like
CM
that.
Punk all over again.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think
Because
that's
Triple H represents Vince McMahon right now. That he's the boss.
He is the boss. And
Yeah.
in the way they were kind of going at it on Monday, kind of makes me think they're
Yeah.
planting some early seeds for a couple months down the line at the
And Dean,
WrestleMania.
after losing to Seth, how he stayed in the ring and seemed like, disinterested.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like after losing, just being like, "Forget this, I'm out of here."
Yeah, but that could be all for show though. Obviously.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the character they're giving off.
Yeah,
that's why I think this is a work. They're giving him like he's disinterested.
He's like, all right, I'm just gonna walk out when my contract's up.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean with Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett's now a producer now. I think it's great. I think it's great for WWE because then you get some fresh ideas. Because I feel like where they're at creative wise. The guys producing some of these matches, it's stale. Sometimes it's good to shake things up and put some new guys in there, new guys and gals in there. I know Paige is back there as a producer now, I believe. So, I think she can obviously.
Well, I've heard Abyss is back there as a producer now too.
Abyss,
and Hurricane
really?
Helms.
I knew her. Yeah, I was gonna say Shane's there. Shane Helms. Yeah. I didn't know Abyss. That's good. I didn't know that one. That's you just threw that one at me. I had no idea.
And a lot of this. Well, we'll talk with some people. It feels like maybe a lot of these people are signed producers, quote unquote, to kind of keep them away from joining AEW.
Yeah, that's true. AEW. I don't know, man. After everything that happened with Royal Rumble, Omega's going there. He's going with his boys. I get it.
Yeah.
I was holding out hope. All right, I was holding out hope. Yeah, but AEW, I think WWE is really starting to take them seriously.
Video surfaced of somebody sitting ringside at Royal Rumble having to take off his AEW shirt.
Yeah, at Rumble. Yes, right. Yeah, but I saw somebody on Raw. And they didn't even mess with him all night.
Yeah, I did see somebody on Raw with AEW shirt.
It was right when you walk. Through the. When you walk down. You were like you could look across the ring and see him.
Yes.
It was like across to the left.
Yeah, I was
some guy.
I was dead center with the ring, row 4
Not
at
bad
Monday
seats.
Night Raw. Not on the TV side, but I will tell you this much. If your goal is not to be on TV, but to just have the best view, there was no... Yeah, it would have been cool to be on TV, but my personal seats, I feel on row 4 that side were better than row 4 the other side, view-wise, because where I was where the TV camera is. So they always had to come out and face me. So when I want to take a picture or anything like that, like Braun Strowman would come out and come my direction. 2, the production was right behind me. There was no row 5. There was just the production was behind me. Mm-hmm. So I could stand up better and longer without blocking anyone's view because the next people behind me were in the seats and those were elevated. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if I wanted to stand up a little bit longer when people were coming out, you know what I mean, to get a better view, it was easier to do that. If I was row 4 on the other side, I was closer to where the seats begin, or there would be more people behind me, and there wasn't production. So
I know. I mean, when I went to Raw a couple years ago in Buffalo, I was on the TV side. I was probably like 5 rows back, and it was funny because obviously I DVR'd it, So I went back and I was like, man, me and my dad were acting like knuckleheads because my dad had my dad was one of the old guys with a championship belt. It was like one of the ones like the kids wore. It was like one of the back when the old spinner like Cena belt. He's putting it up on the TV and stuff. I look back and we were laughing about it. We had good seats. It was fun. It's been a few years. It was when Vince McMahon came back. He wasn't on TV for a while, and he made an appearance in Buffalo on Raw. I was there. It was the night. I think it was the night Randy Orton got beat pretty bad. It was good seats. I was on TV though. That was fun.
What year was this? Okay, that doesn't really tell me much.
Couple years ago. It was like
Randy Orton got beat. That doesn't tell me much.
Well, yeah, no, he gets beat all the time. But I think it was like might have been 14.
Oh, okay.
14, 15, 13, 14, somewhere. It's been a few years. I haven't been to many shows in a while, which I'm making that a goal.
Well, WrestleMania is in New York City this year, so I mean, you could always make that an easy goal.
Yeah, well, the timing of that might be.
I tell you what, though,
interesting.
My Royal Rumble tickets were ridiculously cheap, and it's so weird. The cheapest ticket right now for WrestleMania, because it's currently sold out, is on StubHub for about $250. $250 for a non. I think it's like $180 for a seat that's behind the stage. $250 for a seat in the upper deck that is not behind the stage. My Royal Rumble ticket, while it was upper deck, it was definitely upper deck. But it was dead center with the ring. There was none of those bars were in my way. Dead center with the ring. From an upper deck seat, probably as good as you can get for an upper deck seat. I was right behind where they came out. So the entranceway, they did the turn, they did the curve.
If you were looking at it on TV, you're probably on the left, right?
What? Yeah.
If I'm looking at you, if I'm looking at the TV, you're up left.
They came out so like I would see their backs when they walked out.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, which was weird about the Royal Rumble setup. All right. Everyone was at their back. I would say a good 70% of the crowd was on the other side. Like with Monday Night Raw, there's people that are sitting behind the stage or to a corner of the stage. When the wrestlers come out, you see their backs and they're walking away from you. But that's a slim part of the crowd. Most of the crowd is looking at the wrestler coming down the stage. This setup, because they had how it's set up, 70% of the crowd, I would say, was at their backs.
Yeah, it was a weird setup. I liked it though. It was different.
70% of the crowd was behind where the entrance was,
and
which is strange.
And they came out through the dugout, right?
Yeah,
that was cool because they had like the little they made their own little setup out of it. I thought it was cool.
But I mean, my tickets were face valued. I think with Ticketmaster you add on $8-9 fees, $28 plus the $8 or $9 fees, so under $40. And I had like row 1 right when you come out of the upper deck.
Is that what you paid for them?
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And row 1, I came out, and instead of having to go up, because it goes up like 30 rows, I went down 5 rows.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, and obviously you have the screens and stuff, but, I mean, we're talking now the cheapest ticket to get in WrestleMania right now, I'm looking at like $290 for any seat.
Yeah, for a crap seat.
Yeah. For a seat that's probably not as good as the seat I had.
Yeah.
It'll be at an angle, at a corner, what have you.
I don't know, man. WWE's got some work to do. They got to step their game up.
But either way,
I thought the Rumble was bad. So
with Dean Ambrose, it feels like CM Punk to me.
Minus the pipe bomb.
Well,
yet to be determined, I guess.
Yeah, to be determined. I mean, and that's the thing. WWE. It's cool. WrestleMania, we get it the night after Royal Rumble. Like you start the road to WrestleMania, but we do have so much time. With like the whole Becky versus Ronda, Seth versus like we didn't have to announce that right away. We could have chilled on that because what do we have? 21 more Raws until WrestleMania. So I mean, there's really no rush.
You would have that count.
I don't know for sure.
You probably.
I don't know. I can count right now for you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Raws left.
You said 21.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah. So you're like half.
So
like half
9. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like half.
1, 2, 3.
Half your number. So like 21 shows. So you're right on that part of it. Give or take. 'Cause you got 2 shows a week.
So 9 Raw. So 18 Raw and SmackDowns left.
18 shows.
Yeah. So we have 18 shows, and Becky's on one. Seth is on the other. So what's 9 times 3? 27?
27.
We have 27 hours of Raw left before WrestleMania. So
yeah, we got time.
Yeah, we didn't have to like run all the way out and start making WrestleMania matches. So when you say about Dean, there's definitely time for the pipe bomb. There is 27 more hours of Raw for him to do something.
I will say this. If he does a pipe bomb, which could happen, TBD, we'll see. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to take a bad shot at Triple H, and that's going to set up.
But I feel here's the thing: if he does a pipe bomb, it's going to be a really scripted pipe bomb. It's going to be
Yeah, it's not like what CM Punk did.
yeah. Because that was
Yeah,
more
that was-
authentic. This is more like WWE trying to cash in. This is if this pipe bomb, this will be like ECW. The WWE
Yes.
ECW.
Yes.
Like, all right, we know it's like we're going to plan this. The CM Punk one was great because it was organic, it was fresh, it was new, it was something we'd never seen before. This one is like Vince cashing in on it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna script it, but I mean, I think if it's scripted, they'll do a pretty good job of it though.
I hope so. The return of This Is Your Life with Alexa Bliss, not so well as the original.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That's how Vince McMahon is. He
wasn't
hates when there's stuff that's new and fresh and awesome. He hates it, and then when he finds out how good it did, he then is like, "Let's do that again."
Yeah, let's work it. Let's do it.
Let's do it again. Like I mean, somebody will go through a table unplanned and he'll hate it, and then as soon as they find out like the ratings were amazing for it, he'll try to then like script it. He'll try to force it.
Yeah,
Titus O'Neil running to the ring at the Royal Rumble, for example, this year, doing his whole. The first time was organic, was funny because it wasn't supposed to happen.
And this time,
he was like running, and then I'm glad they didn't have him just slide under the ring. I'm glad that, but they played with it a little bit. I'm glad they didn't.
He's like, whoa, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm good this time.
Yeah,
he like stopped right before.
I
the
really
ring.
felt they were gonna have him slide under the ring though.
Yeah,
I really felt they were
thought-
gonna cash in on
I
that.
thought they were gonna make him safe like baseball. He's safe.
I thought that was gonna be a new thing. 50% of you though think this isn't a work. Think Dean Ambrose is really leaving.
Split decision.
The question is, if he leaves, do you think he's leaving for another company, or do you think he's just maybe done?
He's going to AEW.
So
AEW, or he's coming back.
I think he's done. I think if he leaves, he's done. If he stays, it's a work. Clearly stays. The reason I feel that way is because that WWE, if he was going to AEW and really felt he was going to a competitor, they really probably wouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah, but you don't know you don't know what's inside his head though. Dean could be saying, yeah, I'm just going to hang up my boots.
Yeah, we learned though with WCW, not saying that AEW is as much a competition as WCW was, but I feel like if you saw what they did with Bret Hart, knowing days in advance he was leaving for WCW, knowing months in advance, they would if they thought he was going to AEW or thought that they would, and this wasn't a work, they'd probably be like, well, just get the hell out now. They don't want it. They don't want to give him WrestleMania time. They don't want to hype him up going into AEW. They would want his stock to be as cold as possible. They would want to get him off TV and have him disappear.
I get that, but Dean's a mysterious guy though, on and off the camera.
I would feel too with his wife being a WWE worker. I don't see him going to AEW.
I guess we'll have to see.
50% of our audience doesn't know. 50% of our audience says it's a work. We'll find out. But either way, that has been our social media Smackdown of the week. If you didn't hear our recap of the Royal Rumble, tune into our other video on YouTube where we talk all things this week in WWE as much as we could fit in. Either way, though, if you're listening to the podcast, thanks for listening to both segments. And again, this has been our social media Smackdown. This has been the show for the week. For Icebreaker 21 to my left, for myself at KRock Jared. Make sure to follow the program at Heel to the Face. That's where you find all the links you need for videos and audio. This has been the Heel to the Face podcast. Until next week, the road to WrestleMania continues.